Hey, you guys, before we get rolling, just wanted to mention I'm trying something new this week with some transition music. It's nothing crazy, but if you hate it, let me know. You can always get me feedback by smashing that like button and leaving a 5-star review wherever you review podcasts. That gets my attention. That's what I call feedback. Hi, friends. I'm Scott. This is What a Weird Week, where we count down the weird news of the week from 10 to 1. You can like and subscribe to the podcast, see the show notes, blog, and check us out on YouTube. Find everything at shownotes.page. Shownotes.page.
Hi, everybody. It's Weird.
This is like crazy being here. Like
Really weird tales.
Well, I got a great show for you today with some wonderful weird stuff.
This is Season 4, Episode 42, first published on Friday, July 14th, 2023.
10.
Number 10 is Let's Just Eat All the Invasive Species. The headline from CBC, Invasive crabs are thriving in British Columbia waters. Can we eat our way out of the problem? This is referring to the European green crab. They are an invasive species, but apparently they don't taste too bad. So, problem solved, maybe. Not everyone is on board with this idea, but it is in the news and it's gaining momentum. In a lot of places, these green crabs have become a problem, and almost everywhere where they have rolled in, someone has suggested, can we eat them? There are recipes online and stuff. You think about it, this could help food banks. It could help food insecurity. It seems like a win-win situation. Well, not a win for the crabs. Who's winning then in this win-win? Us. It seems like a win situation, but I'm not a scientist or social scientist, nutritionist, medical doctor, marine biologist. I'm just a hungry person. That's what I'm bringing to the table here, no pun intended. Not available in stores or restaurants yet, to be continued.
9.
Number 9, what is Barbenheimer or Barbieheimer? You can call it either. I call it Barbenheimer because Barbenheimer has its own Wikipedia. Perhaps you're already on board the Barbenheimer train. This is from the Wikipedia. Barbenheimer is an internet phenomenon that began circulating ahead of the theatrical release of two films diametrically opposed in genre, Barbie and Oppenheimer. So people have jumped on it. They're sharing memes. They're sharing mashups. It's generally been fantastic because people are genuinely excited for both films. It's not like they're making fun of one of the films or something like that. I mean, Barbie is going to be a big blockbuster this summer, or a big hit of the summer, they think. Oppenheimer's getting a lot of rave reviews. You know, those rave reviews, you guys. Oppenheimer's getting them. Tom Cruise mentioned this in a tweet, or he kind of sort of, I don't know if he kicked the whole thing off, but people were sharing. So Tom Cruise supports film like crazy. He poses with him, holding a ticket to a movie. He supports all movies. And so he posed with a ticket for Barbie, and then he posed with a ticket for Oppenheimer. And I think the quote was something, I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, hey, great double feature, these two. A lot of people feel that way. Yes, it would be a great double feature. So then some cinema chains in the United States started selling it as a double feature, and they sold thousands and thousands of tickets for Barbenheimer. So one of these fun internet memes where it hasn't gotten too mean. So far, at time of recording, not too mean. Uh-oh. I hope I didn't jinx anything. What? Oh, we already have to take down the episode? Oh, you guys, we have to take down the episode. Barbenheimer now means something terrible. Way to go, internet.
8.
Is the ice sword the perfect weapon? This amazing ice cream from Japan that looks like a sword, it got some attention this week as the longest ice cream in Japan. The headline from Japan Today is Ninja Sword Ice Cream. That's it. That's a headline. Pretty good, though. What they call ice cream, I think we would call a popsicle, though, or maybe that's a brand name. Some sort of sickle. Some sort of flavored icicle in the shape of a sword. It's delicious, cools you off on a hot day. It's not too sharp, which is good because it comes in contact with your tongue and mouth. You wouldn't want that thing to be sharp like a sword, but it looks like a ninja sword. You know what, though? I have this thing when I eat a popsicle, for some reason, maybe it's the heat signature of my mouth. The popsicle becomes sharply pointed. Does that happen to you? It's like an ice dagger. At some point, I am eating an ice dagger. Maybe you could do that with this ice sword. Sharpen it with your tongue. Give it a tongue sharpening. By the way, 45 centimeters long, so that's 1.5 feet of dangerously delicious icy swordy goodness. Costs around 1,000 yen or roughly $7 American. You want to see a photo of it? Click the show notes.
The What a Weird Week show.
7.
Number 7, never send a thumbs up emoji to anyone, ever. That is the takeaway. That's what I learned. The lesson learned here from this story, never ever send emojis. Here's the CBC headline. Texting thumbs up emoji in response to a question costs Saskatchewan farmer $82,000 in contract case. This is a case in Western Canada where somebody wanted to buy some grain. This buyer has texted inquiries before, done deals over text before. The buyer was doing that in this case also. Essentially, they offer to buy however much grain, is a lot of grain, at a certain price point. So text message gets sent to a grain farmer. It says something like, I'm paraphrasing, but something like contract attached. Please confirm contract. The contract was attached. The farmer texted back a thumbs up. Well, the buyer never got his grain. They ended up in court against one another. The judge ruled that a thumbs up emoji is just like saying yes, affirmative. So the thumbs up emoji meant the buyer and the farmer had a contract and the farmer didn't fulfill his end of the deal. The farmer had to pay 80-some thousand bucks because of that thumbs up emoji. You guys, sometimes we're sending these emojis and we're not talking the same language. I mean, you send a thumbs up. Some people think that means yes, great, you bet. Other people see it as an insult. That's true. There was a study. Do not send a certain age bracket the thumbs up, or they think you're being sarcastic and mean. And then some people just don't have their glasses on and they think it's a banana. I'm troubled by this, you guys.
This is What a Weird Week.
6.
Just before we launch into number 6, I should say, during the transition music, I moved to my car because the studio has no air conditioning and it's very hot in the studio. So now, from the car, we pick up the top 10 weird news items of the week. At number 6. McDonald's wedding package getting some attention. The official wedding package offered by McDonald's in Indonesia. A McDonald's wedding package with 100 chicken burgers, 100 4-piece nuggs. That deal will cost you around $230 US. When I put that in my app, like say I wanted 100 chicken nuggets Happy Meals, which an amazing idea for your next wedding, you guys. Everybody gets a Happy Meal. Hey, what a wonderful memory. Anyway, if you tried to cater your own wedding with Happy Meals, it would be like $600 or something. So this wedding package from McDonald's in Indonesia, even if you just get the nugs and burgers and a booth to sit down, still a great value at these price points. People are going to get married some weekend just because they're hungry, because it's a good deal on food. That's my theory. I don't know. Wait and see.
5.
Number 5, the 20 slices. So we went from a McDonald's story to a Burger King story. No coincidences, right, you guys? The 20 slices of cheeseburger from Burger King in Thailand. It has 20 slices of cheese. That's like a whole package of cheese slices. Also noteworthy, it has no beef. So when we call it a cheeseburger, it's really just a cheese. It's cheese and a bun, you guys. One person quoted in the story said, it was good, but maybe a bit too much cheese. Burger King posted on social media that it wasn't a joke. You know, some people thought it was a joke, so they countered that with, no, this is not a joke. Anyway, it looks like a recipe you could probably steal from Burger King and try at home if you wanted to. All you need is 20 slices of cheese and a hamburger bun. Invite someone over for a barbecue and then haul out the 20 slices of cheese on a hamburger bun dish and see how that plays.
4.
Number 4, the headline from the BBC. Police search for screaming woman find pet parrot. We've had stories like this before on this podcast. A parrot sounds so much like someone in trouble that the police show up. The person who owned the parrot this time around was a retired police officer. Little bit of a twist to the usual story. He has 22 parrots. Someone called the cops because they heard what they believed was a woman in distress. Turns out it was a parrot, and the police had a chuckle over that. No arrests were made. I'm reading through this story, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no arrests were made. This fellow has 22 parrots, though. Maybe arrest him. After 20 parrots, once you get past the 20 parrot mark, I feel like, shouldn't there be some law where you go to jail? See, I'm a bit freaked out by birds, you guys. Those bird eyes staring at you all the time. The bird beaks. You know, the birds and the beaks. Just, they freak me out a little bit. So that might be why I feel like this person and his birds should go to jail. I mean, he could have the birds in jail too. Maybe, I guess the birds are always in a cage. I don't know. I haven't thought it through all the way. I'm freaked out by birds.
3,
Okay, moving on. Number 3, the giant space tubes in the news. This is from the TLDR newsletter. It's a pretty great article, and it's a good subscribe, the TLDR. $10 space travel. That seems pretty cool and pretty weird. Longshot Space is a company working on cheap space travel, maybe as cheap as $10 per kilogram, so around $5 a pound to launch a payload into space via their giant space tube. Some other systems will launch a payload for it's thousands and thousands of dollars per pound. This, $5 per pound, this if they get it off the ground. If they get it off the ground. Was that hilarious? See how I said if they get it off the ground, you guys? This article calls the system, which I refer to as a giant space tube. They don't refer to it as that, which missed opportunity. But anyway, it's a multiple kilometer long horizontal concrete tunnel. It's basically a vacuum chamber. That's directly from the article. So it's like an air gun that shoots stuff into space. Right now they're testing how fast they can get stuff going. So to be continued, cheap space launches, not for people, but for cargo.
This is What a Weird Week, recapping the weird stories of the week.
2,
Number 2, survey out of England says small talk is really important, so don't screw it up. This is from the Study Finds website. Research from University of Warwick, UK, seems to indicate that those first impressions we make during small talk have a big impact later on. Oh, I hate this survey so much because I'm terrible at small talk. Small talk is important even when it seems like we're just saying unimportant, dumb stuff, because our brain is constantly filing away information about the other person's personality, leading to better interactions or better dealings with people in the future. So even if you hate small talk, which I hate small talk, you guys, I'm so awful at it. It's better to do it. It's better to try. It's better to small talk like a small talking machine than to just jump into work talk or whatever. This one doesn't seem earth-shattering. I mean, we've all heard, make a good first impression, whatever. Good reminder, though. When somebody starts telling you, somebody at work is like, hey, like my shoes? And then it's 15 minutes of how they bought the shoes and they tried the size smaller and they almost got the size smaller and they ended up getting a size bigger and they're so pleased with their shoes. 15 minutes of that, you guys. I'm not supposed to roll my eyes when that happens. I'm supposed to try hard at small talk when tells me about her shoes. Oh, maybe bleep out let's bleep out the name of the person, my colleague who got into the shoe talk. I'm going to say they're nice shoes.
1,
Okay, number 1, would you take $10,000 to be a toilet paper spokesmodel/influencer? It's been a while since we featured one of these publicity stunts. I always say it ain't easy being on the toilet paper marketing team trying to come up with a way to get some toilet paper publicity to stand out from the rest. I don't think I'll be taking part in this contest, though. This is from Marketing Dive. Here's the quote. Cottonelle, and PG-13? It's right in their article, though. One of the bigwigs from Cottonelle uses a PG-13 term. I don't know. Maybe it's not PG-13. I'm pretty buttoned down, uptight individual. Okay, the quote. Cottonelle is getting to the bottom of how consumers talk about their down there situations with a comical effort that seeks not ambassadors or influencers, but advertisers. So that's the part. I didn't know if I could say advertiser. And I don't think it's a great word. What? Anyway, the article quotes the North American VP of Cottonelle, saying many consumers don't understand that they can find solutions to their down there situation in the toilet paper aisle. Cottonelle has a full suite of products that speak to the various situations all of our down theres have, whether we are steamy, sensitive, hard to clean, or swampy. This is the VP of Cottonelle. Wait, the North American VP of Cottonelle saying swampy butt. That is so weird to me, you guys. Anyway, goes on to drop the term aspertizer in the quote. But my sweet Lord, by the way, contest has already started. It goes until late July. Maybe it showed up in your feeds already. It just started showing up for me this week. If you want to crack at the $10,000, you have to send them a video message about what you got going on down there. And if it's not vulgar, if it's something they can use and it's the right tone or whatever, then you could win $10,000 and a pair of Cottonelle joggers. You'll have to wear these joggers in public and in your social media posts. That's part of the deal. I'm not making that up because this is not exactly a contest. It's more like you could win a job promoting their TP. Everyone will know you from your down there situation and you'll be famous for toilet paper. So good luck. I mean, if this is up your alley, $10,000, nothing to sneeze at. Okay, that's it. Thanks so much for checking out the What a Weird Week show. If you want to get show notes or watch the videos or anything podcast related, subscribe, like buttons that need smashing, all of that, just go shownotes.page. Shownotes.page. Also streaming on Funhouse Radio. Ask your smart speaker to stream Funhouse Radio. You'll find our show on there on weekends.